Hi there. So, one of the hardest lessons I had to learn in my life was how to stop allowing myself to be burned out. And when I say burnout, I mean being an overachiever, being one of those women, especially Black women who believed in the myth of a strong Black woman. I was doing the most for everyone else and not enough for myself. And so I was in a space of burnout. And I was in a space of how am I going to be happy in my life when I'm always doing everything for everybody and rarely doing anything for myself? But I was groomed to believe and think that if I'm unselfish and if I give everything to everyone else, then I'll be rewarded somehow. But guess what? The reward never came. I was still in this space of longing, loneliness, and allowing other people to pretty much run my life, my emotions, and make me feel like I had no choice. So I had to start changing that. I had to start setting boundaries. When I did that, it did not go over well for a lot of people. And I had to be okay with that. It was hard to be okay with that because I wanted the validation, approval of everyone else in my life. And I wasn't getting that. The crazy thing was, I wasn't even getting it when I was doing all the things. I was just simply a tool that people could use to get what they want. And then outside of that, I'm on my own, or I was on my own. I know that there's so many other women out there who are going through the same things, struggling with people pleasing, being an overachiever because somehow they think that's going to get the attention of people, it's going to validate them, it's going to make them feel like they're worthy and make them feel like or hope that people will see their value. But often that doesn't happen, especially when you've positioned yourself as a people pleaser, the resource person, the one who always gets it done, and the strong person who doesn't need any help. That was the hardest lesson for me, being perceived as a strong person, someone who doesn't need help, and being able to make it on my own. That was exhausting. I hated it. I was lonely. I was tired. There was no reward in there at all. In the process of this transformation, this healing journey that I've been on, I started to notice my pattern or blueprint I was putting together for myself to create better boundaries, set better boundaries, because nobody taught me. I didn't learn. If you are in the same situation or feeling the same way, and it feels I should have known, what's not your fault? You didn't know. How could you know? Because if people around you benefit more from using you, then why would they even teach you about boundaries? And then if you come from a culture that pushes that women should be of service, that we should always be giving, that we should always be self-sacrificing, then how would you know? You wouldn't know. And then if you're in a religious environment, you certainly wouldn't know how to create boundaries. Here's a secret that you may or may not know. When you, as a woman, especially as a Black woman, have boundaries, you are an extremely powerful person because you are no longer being the resourceful, always available, people pleasing person, but you become a force to be reckoned with. People can't move you when you have boundaries. They can't manipulate you and they can't make you do anything you don't want to do, just like they don't do anything they want to do. So I think it's time for the tables to be turned and for Black women specifically to set boundaries. But how do you do that? That's the number one question you might be asking right now. How do I do that and make them stick? Because we can set boundaries, we can go through all the motions, the ceremony of, okay, I'm gonna set a boundary. Oh, okay, I'm not gonna let people run over me. I'm not gonna let people use me anymore. But then we find ourselves falling right back into the same pattern. You're like, why can't I get this together? There are some strategy that you actually have to use. There's a new mindset you have to create in order to be able to set boundaries in your life. You limit your personal growth and your financial growth when you are people pleasing, overachieving, and doing all the things that other people want you to do because you probably going into your bank account every time somebody has their hand out for money. You're hardworking and you are making money, but it's go as fast as you can make it, it's going out because other people have an emergency or they have these needs, or your niece and nephew needs X, Y, and Z, or your mom or dad needs this, or granny needs that. But you can never reach your financial goals when you're always handing out $100 bills or more. Building better boundaries is not just about your emotional well-being and your mental health, it's about your financial well-being and your financial health. The boundaries blueprint that I used in order to build the boundaries that I have around my life that has greatly improved my mental health, that has greatly improved my bank account, that has greatly improved my physical health because I'm no longer feeling burnt out, because I'm no longer feeling like I am obligated to be long suffering and allow people to run me over because I'm not looking for validation either. With Build Better Boundaries Blueprint is where you're going to create a strategy, a plan to set your boundaries, plans that you can stick with and that people will honor, and that will take you from emotional and financial burnout to ease and prosperity. Because you deserve a better life. You deserve an easier life, a life where you're not people pleasing and looking for validation. So click the link in the description below and sign up today. This is something that I think is going to really take you from feeling used and abused to ease and prosperity.